Shalom YouTube. It's Elder Mitchell back again on the video. I wanted to come on today real quick, and I want to be able to give my testimony of Eric Gonzalez today. And PastorDowell just made a recent video called Exposing Eric Gonzalez. And we had a brother Marshall, aka Brother McGee, came back, and he'd been dealing with this man for, I would say, the past 4 years or so. They both left in 2013. We ain't seen him since. But anyway, I first heard of Eric Gonzalez maybe early 2012. Him and his family came down the straightway to visit on initially on that first visit, and I never actually met them until August 2012. That we held our second annual GOTS Gathering of the Saints meeting, and they came down there came up to actually visit. Now, I remember he ended up leaving, and they ended up staying. I suppose there was some type of agreement that they were going to be there for about, I don't know, 2-3 months. And I actually learned of this when I came back for Tabernacles in October to spend a week or so there. Really, I was spending a month there. I was actually coming for the feast for a week, and then I was going to stay for the next month just to visit, to see how it was living on the community, learning what the community is all about from PastorDowell and the Saints at Straightway. And during that time, I was actually able to sit down with the family, and well, Eric wasn't there. It was just Nelly and the children, and I was able to sit down with her and the children, basically talk to the boys, Erica and Nelly, and actually obtain their testimony of how they came to the faith. At that time, I was going from house to house, making myself well acquainted with the saints, things of that nature. And at that time, their mindset was, from Nelly was, I'm waiting on my husband, man. Like, whatever he want to do, I'm just waiting on him. Just trying to, well, whether we're gonna be here and live here, or whether we're gonna go back to Miami. I'm just waiting on him letting me know what's up. She was ready to ride. She was down for the dude. She was ready to roll. She didn't want nothing to do with being straightway. She was just like, yo, I'm here because he told me he wanted me to stay here. He said he's going to take care of business. I'm waiting on him. And that was her mindset then. And she's talked very highly of Eric. She never bashed him, never threw him under the bus or nothing like that. She just was wanting to be with him. That's it. That was her speech. From the children's point of view, it was more, hey, I'm just waiting on, whatever Pops want to do, man. Whatever Daddy want to do, that's what we're going to ride out with, They were ready for whatever, really. But you could tell that their future was uncertain. They didn't really know where they were going to be from 1 week to the next. And it was just very sad and unfortunate. But it was a bad taste in my mouth from October to, from Tabernacles 2012 up until Passover 2013. It was a really bad taste in my mouth, not even really being involved with the family at this point. It was just a bad taste in my mouth, because I'm wondering, why is the family a straightway and he's down in Miami somewhere? I never really understood that. And to me, it just seemed kind of fishy to me, a little bit. And mainly because my brother actually was involved with him, because they had, he sold, I think, a gun or something like that to my brother. So my brother was kind of dealing with him. My brother came to me, asked me a few questions pertaining to, what's up with this guy, because he just felt like, something was off. I said, well, I don't know, just get the gun, just be at peace, don't even worry about it. So anyway, and I kind of looked at it like, I really didn't like how he was treating Nelly, because, that was like a booty call. You drop her off, and it's like, you going to come back, be with her, for one feast, and then she don't see you for 5-6 months. You come back again, you be with her again, and you leave again, because after Passover, he left. So they got dropped off in August. You came back October to visit, and you came back again, Passover to visit once again. And you had no intentions on taking him, it seemed. And that just was, I don't understand that. I don't know any husband, I don't know any father that feels very comfortable leaving their children somewhere else, leaving their wife somewhere else. It don't matter who it is. I don't care who it is. I don't care if they're a saint. It don't matter to me. My family belongs with me. Ain't nobody gonna treat your wife, nor your children, the way you will. At least for me. Ain't no one gonna treat them like I will. No one will have the compassion, nor the love, nor the understanding for my family the way that I will, and I didn't understand for the life of me why that was the case with him. I didn't understand it. Me personally, from what I can tell and what I can see, because I actually began to get very involved with the family because I actually began to court Sister Erica with his consent, mom's consent, and my pastor consent. Um, anyway, so I actually began to court Sister Erica, and I started really talking to Eric, Eric Gonzalez. Really started talking to him a lot. We developed a positive rapport with one another, and I began to ask hard questions. I want to know, how's your relationship? What's your plan? What's your plan? What do you plan on doing with the family? What does the future hold? I'm trying to figure out this because if I'm going to be with this young woman, I need to know what the status of this family is going to be. And not only that, I want to know what is your relationship and how is your relationship with your daughter. And I'm saying all these things because he's twisted the narrative on this story. So y'all hearing it from me, and um, he would dodge the questions. When I would ask him, "How's your relationship with your daughter?" He would say stuff like, "Oh, can have a better daughter than Erica," and that was it. It's like, okay, well, how's your relationship with her? Why does she miss you so much? Why is she always seeking for your approval? It seems that's what I seen. It's what I could tell through her speech, her conversation. When I would visit, it was seeking his approval. It was, you know, she felt a lot of things were her fault. Based on what was going on in the family, based on him not being around. Maybe she wasn't a good enough daughter, and things of that nature. I mean, even the wife felt that way. I've heard her testimony. I mean, nothing's good enough. I'm just not good enough. He just don't want to be with us. I don't know why he's not here. I mean, this was her speech, you know. But anyway, let me fast forward to Nelly ended up not wanting to be with him. All right. Hey, I don't want to be with you no more. This ain't type of life to live. You giving me empty promises for years on end. We done. He upset. He mad. Next thing you know, here comes the accusing. Oh, it's the ministry and it's PastorDowell making you divorce me and this and that, whatever the case may be. And so now he's spitting in my ear, trying to get me on his side or whatever. I just want peace. I just want to be at peace. For the first 2 years I was in this ministry, it was nothing but peace. My headache came when he came. My headache came at this point in time. It was, in the fall of 2013, it was just a huge headache. I mean, because of everything he was trying to tell me and sell me about, number one, his now ex-wife, Nelly, and also PastorDowell, the ministry, other brethren within the ministry, even me, trying to punk me, basically threatening me about, being with Erica, not being with her. And I just kind of blew it off, really wasn't worried about it. I knew his situation, so I knew he was speaking from feelings. But he admitted to me a lot of wrongdoings that he's done to the family, especially to his ex-wife, Nelly. He admitted a lot of things what he had put her through. And the situation he created. He created the situation. He created, he just created a lot of unhealthy situation and environment for that family to live in and be in. And he admitted all these things to me. These are things that maybe he ain't told some of you wicked folks out there. A lot of things that he said wickedly towards the ministry or towards Nelly or even myself. All you people out there that are in agreement, you already have a preconceived notion. So you just needed one person to solidify what you had already thought in your mind. But none of you know us on a personal level. None of you have ever sat down with us and talked to us. None of you have ever been around us to see our manner of life. None of y'all. But anyway, I'm gonna continue on. But he's admitted a lot of things, and pretty much, I had to cut this cat off, man, from really speaking to him because I couldn't be at peace because I did everything in my power to honor him as being her dad, and so I actually spoke to him the longest out of anybody that year. I continue to. I'm talking about people that actually are in the ministry now. Still, I spoke to him the longest, all the way up until maybe GOTS 2013. I can't remember when that was, but I remember saying to myself, I hung up the phone with him for the last time, and I said, I'm not gonna be calling him no more. And I can remember one of the last things that he told me, because mind you, I'm sitting here trying to honor the guy. The last thing he told me was get my daughter out of there. So all this talk about him not agreeing with me being with her or whatever, he telling me to get his daughter out of there. He telling me to do that. He even told his boys about me and his daughter courting, and he talked about having a little triangle, coming visiting Tennessee to Florida to Texas. I mean, this is the type of talks that we had, so we were cool at one point. But things began to go real south with me, man, as he would continue to just attack his ex-wife's character. He continued to attack my character. And the last straw for me was a Facebook post he put up, basically trying to do what he calls so-called exposing. And, this type of man that will expose himself and will say anything about himself in order to expose someone else. It don't matter how sick the acts which he did were. He'll expose himself as long as he can incriminate someone else, as long as he can bring someone else down in your mind. He will do it, and it's a pretty sad thing. Me and Erica both wanted him to actually be a part of our lives, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, this man, he just can't. He can't say I'm sorry. He can't apologize. He can't humble himself whatsoever at all. He's just too proud, man. The guy's just way too proud. Can't take a humble pill for nothing whatsoever at all. I sat down with my wife, while we were courting one time, and she started crying, and I said to myself, well, I backed off from her because I felt like I did something wrong. I said, well, what's wrong with you? What's going on? She said, I'm just so happy that you're not like my dad. That's a powerful statement from a daughter about a father. You see what I'm saying? To a man that's actually going to be with her. And she made this statement because I told her, because this has always been my whole heart, my vision, when I get married, hey, wherever I go, you go. I won't leave you, nor will I forsake you. As long as I have breath in my body, as long as I have strength in my bones, you're going to be wherever I am. I won't leave you, nor will I forsake you. The only time I'll leave you alone is if, for work purposes, I'm going somewhere for maybe a week. If I go somewhere for a week or more, you're coming with me. And at that point, she broke down and cried. And it's because security, women are built on security. Nelly nor Erica had much security from what I can see, even through her testimonies of her living conditions down in Florida versus when she came to Straightway. The ministry, I mean, at the end of the day, Eric put the burden of the responsibility of that family upon the ministry. He did. He left them there. He put the burden, even when, I mean, I can look back and I can remember Erica and the boys and even Nelly having some new stuff, but it didn't come because he gave anything. Because see, the men, even though it's a community, each family have what they need, that live there. Mind you, at that time when they were left there, they were seen as visitors. So if you're just a visitor, the community's not really looking at that family saying, okay, we're responsible for that family. Yeah, we'll feed them during breakfast, we'll feed them during dinner. But, outside of that, this man was giving his wife no money. These children needed new shoes, needed new clothes, needed coats and things of that nature. Pastor in the ministry made sure that they had what they needed. So he put the burden of the responsibility of taking care of that family on the ministry, no matter how he sees it. Anytime that I've left my wife at Straightway for a few days, when I went out looking for land for our community and things of that nature, I left her with hundreds of dollars in her pocket. I'm not saying it's all about money, but it's all about the intent of the heart. It's all about what you do. It's all about how much you call it. It's all about the relationship that you continue to have with your family. And I just didn't see it. So once again, it's a powerful statement that Erica made to me whenever we first began talking, about, you know, I'm just so glad you're nothing like my dad. That's huge. Um, she also would tell me, I also asked her, I remember when we first got married, I was like, okay, what's your favorite food? She's like, anything. I'm like, what? What do you mean anything? Anything. Okay. She's like, yeah, I'm just really whatever you put before me, I'll eat it. I'm just like, okay, all right. And I didn't get it at first, but, as time go on, she would say it very innocently. And she never was trying to take shots at anyone, but she would just say, oh, yeah, being out in Florida, we didn't know when our next meal was coming, you know. But yeah, we got the straightway. Oh man, it's like a buffet every day. We didn't even know how to take in that much food. It's crazy. So for her, anything you put in front of me, I'll eat it. You know. Um, I asked her what her favorite dessert was. It's like anything. Anything. I really didn't. I mean, she said, I shoot every Sabbath now. I'm a straightway. I could pick and choose what I want for dessert. But before I didn't have that option. So. And anytime that she had to say anything good about her dad, she had to really think long and hard about it, because there's very few moments that she could look to say, oh man, he really took time out to do this, this, and this. He really took time out of his day to sow into me A, B, and C. He really took the time to spend this quality time with me. I mean, this girl can remember her mom telling him, hey, you need to spend time with your daughter. He wasn't even trying to. Nelly, the one everybody hates, that he's caused everyone to hate, is telling him, hey, go and spend time with your daughter. She needs you. She's growing. She needs you. All right? Even with the boys, I can remember going a straight way and they were still living it. This is before the divorce was even talked about. Boys needed him. She would talk to him, hey, the boys need you. You need to talk to your sons. You need to talk to your boys, or whatever the case may be. That's it. Just talk to them. I mean, so, and I actually got a chance to speak to him, Eric Gonzalez, I think 2016 sometime, but late 2015, and, he wanted to know how my daughter was doing, and, I feel like I owed him that, but, it's very hard for me to sit there and be all cool with you, and feel like, oh, we have a great son-in-law, father-in-law relationship. I can't do that. You know why I can't do that? Because you cursed her womb. Because you put it on video that you cursed your daughter's womb. You see what I'm saying? These are the type of stuff that people really don't pay attention to. What do you think that did to her mind? What do you think that did to her spirit? What do you think that did to her feelings? So now that we got this daughter, she knows that her womb's not cursed. You see what I'm saying? And now his daughter's growing up. He wants to call and check on his daughter. Man, why should I even give you the pleasure of seeing her, of talking to her, of holding her? And one big reason why he can't even repent. He can't even repent for saying those things. He can't even say I'm sorry. He couldn't even tell me that when I spoke to him on the phone. Even though I told him that there was a lot of hurt and a lot of disappointment and pain associated with a lot of things that you said, bruh, he still would not say, I'm sorry, my bad. He wouldn't even say nothing. It was an excuse. Oh, it was the heat of the moment, you know what I'm saying? I was going through a lot in my mind, you know what I'm saying? And that was it. Well, I'm thinking to myself, like, man, obviously this guy really he can't humble himself. I'm not even trying to do him dirty like that, but because he wants to go on like that way, so be it. But he cursed the womb, and my wife doesn't care to really, so she sees his heart, she sees his man's mind based on the videos. There's been so many times that her and I want to maybe reach out. We wanted to have some type of relationship there. Nelly intentionally doesn't speak evil of this guy, to the children, because she never wanted to shape their minds towards him in a negative, no positive fashion. She just left it neutral. But, as children grow up, they begin to formulate their own opinions, their own minds. Why? Because they end up having relationships. And they can actually connect the dots. And they can look back in the past and see, okay, man, this wasn't good. This wasn't cool. Okay, I kind of understand my mother now, Erica really understands her mom now. You want to know why? Because she's married. She couldn't fathom a day going by where I'm on the same ground, and by choice I'm saying you're going to stay here and I'm going to separate myself from you by choice. She could not fathom that. Erica couldn't fathom that. So more than ever, now that she's married, she understands her mother even the more so. So I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, not only did this man admit a lot of things to me and tell me a lot of crazy stuff, man, he told me a lot of crazy shit. I ain't gonna lie. He told other men a lot of crazy shit. He let them into the intimate details of his relationship, of his past, and it damaged a lot of people's minds. And nowadays people so nosy, they just want to hear it all. But there are certain things that just shouldn't be revealed. But I'm trying to tell you, when I think of him, he's like a son of Belial in the Bible, Belial, however you say it. But anyway, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, I'm pretty sure I can continue to go on and on and on if I really think about it long and hard. But not everything is peaches and cream as he would try to profess to others that it was. Not everything was peaches and cream. Not everything was all well. The family wasn't just going along, and family was at peace. It just wasn't that way. They put on a facade for him. Even my wife would tell me that. So I do got more. She would talk about how proud he was, and it was all about holding down the Gonzalez name. No matter how bad shit was going in the home, you know, it's all about being presenting, because it was all about uplifting him. And they did a good job of it. They did a damn good job of it. It's just too bad that he couldn't change his ways. Nelly held it down for him. She was a good wife. From what I could see, she was a damn good wife. I mean, she covered up all your dirt all these years. That's pretty goddamn good. Even the children would just act like everything's fine. He's the number one dad of the year type stuff, but it was far from the truth. So, anyway, a lot of people believe in a lot of lies out there, but, there's two sides to every story, man, And, of course, I can't really, that's from my perspective. 2013 was a very rough year. There was a lot of accusations. There was a lot of trying to build up on Eric's side and then knocking you down on his side. And he actually let me into that. He actually told a few brothers that. That's the type of stuff he do. He'll build somebody up. He'll give them compliment stuff, build them up, make them feel good about themselves, and then he'll just knock them down. That's what he said out of his own mouth. So man, just evil, man. He's just wicked. You know what I'm saying? And if he can have take a humble pill and he can repent, man, to his family. I mean, don't even worry about me. You can't even repent to your family, man, or what was your family. You can't even do that, man. That's pretty bad. Because you could have done better. You know what I'm saying? You know where you went wrong at. You know that you was foul. You know you was wicked for a lot of things. And you drew away a lot of people, man. A lot of people that I cared about, even down here in Texas. Had a nice family, man, that was a part of us at one point in time, and they're no longer around because they was listening to you. They would come around, I could see their countenance, man. Their spirit was all messed up and hurt and jacked up based on some of the things that you told them. So you've led a lot of people astray, and it's very, very sad and unfortunate thing. But you're gonna have to answer for that. So anyway, that's my testimony of Eric Gonzalez, man. I mean, the stories can go on and on, but there's a lot of things I'd just rather not say. So, but I'm gonna leave it at that. That's my spiel. Glory to the King. Hopefully, in some shape, fashion, or form, man, this helped validate some things in some of y'all people's minds, man. Because there's a lot of things that which were said that just aren't so. Shalom.